So as many of you know, and as I've alluded to in the past couple of videos or so, I've been on the make money online, passive income type field for, I'd say, probably the past 4 years or so. As such, I've had a lot of experience in the different ways you can make money online with varying degrees of success. As such, I thought it's about time in today's video that I revealed the exact different types of side hustles I've tried in the past, just give my opinions on them, see if they're genuinely worth it, and hopefully save you a little bit of time in deciding what might be the best side hustle for yourself there as well. So let's jump into it. So the first side hustle that I'm going to talk about is the one that takes the majority of the videos on this channel so far, and that is blogging. So long-term viewers of the channel know that I currently operate 2 blogs. The first one is pretty much a disaster, but the second one has been growing fairly consistently since its inception. In total then, I'd say that these blogs are probably earning me anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 in additional income every single year. And one of the major benefits and one of the major reasons why I would recommend blogging is just the fact that it's relatively low cost in order to get set up. This typically means then that the only initial costs that you'll have to have are, buying your domain name and also the hosting for the server space. Now you can most definitely spend a lot more money on this if you want to, build links, hire external writers, any of those kinds of things. But me personally, I like to cover as much of this myself and just basically keep costs as low as possible. So if you're watching this, do I recommend blogging as an initial side hustle to get started with? Generally, I do actually, with the caveat that you have to go in knowing that it's definitely going to be a much long-term side hustle than maybe some of the other things that we're talking about in today's video. The chances then that you'll be able to grow your blog to the point where it's earning $1,000 every single month in less than a year is slim to none, without investing a significant amount of money. On top of this, amount of time it takes to do keyword research, set up your website, and actually learn how to write a good blog post is also incredibly time consuming. And so you're probably looking at around about a year to a year and a half to 2 years, as it took me before my blog really started yielding half decent results. So just know that going in. Right, so next up we have Amazon FBA. So Amazon FBA was the first thing that I ever tried back in 2018 when I first started this whole make money online passive income type of thing. And as such, it was the first real side hustle, the first real attempt at making money online I've ever done. I then tested out Amazon FBA for a solid year with around 2 different products. And this is the part of the video where I say that everything went swimmingly well and I'm now earning $10,000 a month on the side because of Amazon FBA, right? What do you think? Instead, my first product was an absolute dumpster fire and just was an absolute mess. And the second one just about broke even there as well, mainly because of some of the mistakes that I made in terms of calculations and those things. So one of the major problems that I currently have with Amazon FBA, and one of the things I would strongly advise if you are maybe a beginner in this side hustle space, is just the significant amount of cost it takes to get up and running. You're probably going to need to be spending anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 in order to source your product, launch it correctly, have enough money left over for an advertising campaign for your product, all of those different costs. So definitely prices a fair amount of people out of the marketplace. The biggest way, obviously benefit of hindsight, where I went wrong with Amazon FBA all those years ago was actually just not doing my due diligence when it came to product research, which from what I gather is an incredibly popular mistake to make. For example, the second product I was selling was just kitchen utensils, so silicone kitchen utensils that you can basically use to cook stuff. Don't know why that took me so long to say. I was essentially making $5 profit on every single unit if I were to sell it at around about $20 to $26. However, some of the things I didn't take into consideration properly was, number one, the sheer cost of advertising the particular products in order to rank on the top of Amazon search, and number two, my competitors, who a lot of those were just manufacturing the product directly in China and then just selling them on the Amazon marketplace. And as such, they were just basically dropping the price to like $16, which left me zero room for profit. So yeah, not the best experience. So yeah, definite learning curve on this guy's part, but that hasn't actually soured me entirely on the idea of Amazon FBA. And as I've alluded to in a couple of these past videos, it is something that I want to get back into in 2024 and obviously document the journey here on this channel there as well. In my opinion then, Amazon FBA is still a valid side hustle for us guys to go after, so long as you have a significant amount of startup capital in order to get involved. And just make sure you do your due diligence going forward if it is something you want to do. So after Amazon FBA, the second side hustle I started, this must have been back in 2019, early 2020, was just KDP Publishing or ebook publishing. This process then is just basically hiring writers or writing books yourself that would then sell on Amazon, ACX, Ingram Spark, all of these different types of websites there. One of the things I really enjoy about the KDP side of things is, in my opinion, it's the definition of passive income. I mean, I've set up books a couple of years back and I'm still earning a decent amount of money from it every single month. So for example, on a bad month, I'm looking at anywhere between $40 to $50, and on a good month, I'm looking at maybe $100 there as well, just from this side hustle and from the work I've done a couple of years back. Another major benefit of KDP Publishing is that it costs significantly less to set up than Amazon FBA, for example. So you're probably looking at all in all around about $300 to get a book up and running, as opposed to $1,000 to $3,000 for something on Amazon FBA. However, it's not all sunshine and roses, and as a beginner, there's probably a couple of things you do need to know about KDP Publishing if you decide to go down that route. Firstly, you need to go through a fair amount of books before you find a winner. So for example, if you publish 10 books, 5 of them will just not take off at all. 4 of them might do okay and give you a couple of sales here and there every single month. And one of those books will likely take off a fair bit and actually earn you the vast majority of your money there. So those are the kinds of numbers that you're looking at. It's not a case of you can publish one book and that will take off and you're off to the races. Doesn't work like that at all, unfortunately. Now, the other major problem, and my own personal biggest problem with KDP Publishing, is just simply ad stuff, the ad spend, and basically the inaccuracy with ads when it comes to KDP Publishing. For example, let's say you wrote a book in the day trading niche and you published it, you set up an ad campaign in order for you to rank #1. The amount of trial and error you'd have to do in order to have a successful ad campaign set up for that particular book would cost a lot of money. And to add insult to injury, one of the other major downsides of KDP ads is that I've noticed that you could have 2 exact same campaigns set up for the same book, and one of them will absolutely take off and do fantastic, and the other one with the exact same keywords won't do the same. It just leaves up way too much to chance, unfortunately, sometimes with KDP Publishing. As such then, while I generally recommend KDP Publishing, for me there's just too many inconsistencies in there to make it a really large portfolio of earnings when it comes to side hustles. And finally, we come to the side hustle that you're pretty much watching right now, which is this very YouTube channel. Now, this is my most recent side hustle, having started it back in 2021. Gonna be honest though, guys, whilst there's tons of benefits with setting up a YouTube channel, from improving your communication skills, making you feel comfortable speaking on camera, and just generally getting your brand out there, I can't really recommend it too much as a side hustle for a couple of reasons. Number one, and it's going to be the obvious one, which is the relatively high threshold for monetization. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. You can obviously monetize before this with things like affiliate links or any of those kinds of different elements, but in order for that to be worthwhile, you do need a substantial amount of views. In my experience, views and subscribers are pretty much a parallel path upwards. Don't be expecting to earn that much money until you start getting into loads of subscribers and loads of viewers there as well. The second major challenge though with YouTube, I find, is that there's just far too many variables in order to determine success in the side hustle. So what do I mean by that? Let's say then that you're setting up a YouTube channel all around martial arts, and you found a video that looks like it has decent search volume from, vidIQ or one of those services around how to wrap your hands for boxing. Seems straightforward, right? While you might tick the box when it comes to that keyword that you're going after, in reality, there's so many other variables that need to be really on point in order for you to have a successful video, such as your thumbnail design, how you deliver the information, if you're different from the competition. On top of this, unlike Amazon FBA or blogging or even KDP Publishing, actually, the amount of variables I don't think are covered enough by some of the YouTube courses out there at this moment in time. And I don't think YouTube is something that you can watch a course on and after a year or so you have a super successful YouTube channel. I don't think it works like that. Instead then, it takes a lot of time and effort and trial and error in order to be successful. Now, that said, there are most definitely some massive benefits if you do want to go down the YouTube path. For example, if you do sell an information course or a product, or you're looking to do that maybe at some point in the future, your conversion rates are going to be significantly higher on YouTube, allowing you to build a much more stronger relationship with your audience as opposed to a general email list or just generally from your website there as well. So it does definitely have some benefits there. So there you have it, blogging family. Those are all the different side hustles I've tried in the past 4 years or so with varying degrees of success like we laid out. As always, however, though, if you are interested in more videos around side hustles, personal development, blogging, Amazon FBA, sales, whatever it might be, absolutely smash the like and subscribe button, as it really genuinely does help out the channel. And until next week's video, I'll leave you to it, gang. All the best for now, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.